Hi guys, this is Pestily and welcome to another Escape for Tarkov video. Today I have my first impressions, everything that's happened with the new wipe 16.8, which is the hardcore wipe. There's a fair bit to cover, so without further ado, let's crack straight into it. Alright, so I have a pretty consolidated list of everything that's actually part of this wipe, and I'm going to go through each of the things that is happening, and then at the end I'll probably give my thoughts over the overall of everything. So starting off with this wipe, there is a whole new thing when it comes to being able to go into maps. So currently you can go into ground zero, factory, and customs. From those maps you can transition to other maps. Ground zero you can transition to streets, customs you can go to interchange, reserve, and factory, and then factory you can go to woods, customs, and labs. Obviously, if there's this this symbol next to the map, it's 100% boss spawn chance. Low level ground zero has no boss, so that's why the symbol's not there. Factory, customs, and if you go to any of the other maps via transitioning, the bosses are 100%. Probably one of the big things that I've noticed in this going into the maps, Rashala seems to be fairly left alone. I've been able to kill him pretty much every raid I go into customs. It's not like people are trying to chase him down. I think they're more focusing on getting their hideout items. But factory, a lot of people are having Tagilla on farm so they can get that Tagilla face mask. It is a really strong helmet to have for such an early part of the wipe and playthrough. Then the biggest issue that is probably going to be like the most controversial thing of this whole actual wipe in itself and this hardcore event that they've put together is the actual transition. And BSG are aware of it and they're working on a fix. The transition thing, I think, is probably the biggest negative of this whole event. I will talk about it in more detail a bit later on. I'm so excited that I just queued up for 3.5 minutes. So I can queue up for another 3.5 minutes. This can't be it. This is not it. But it is the most painful time sink of everything that's going on. Next up, just before the actual wipe happened, or during the wipe server downtime and they were doing all the patching, the BSG, the COO, I think he's the CEO of Scav for Tarkov, Pestily Games, announced that there will be no tasks when the actual games go back up. So currently tasks are completely unavailable, but dailies and weeklies are available. Now I'm level 14. You can go do your dailies over on Arena and stuff and help you get more XP that way as well. But when I hit level 15, I'll have my access to my weeklies. But yeah, at the moment, you can only do dailies. So I would highly recommend, if you are going to do your dailies, reset them so at least you're getting trader reps. So then later on, when more tasks become available and traders become more available, you will hopefully be able to get access to high-level traders faster. Speaking of traders, currently, all traders are locked at level 1. It doesn't matter if you're level 1 or you're level 79, which is the highest level in Tarkov. You cannot get access to level 2 because they've locked it at level 80 to get access to level 2 traders. So I know there's a lot of people saying this is like the unemployment wipe and unfair to casuals and stuff like that, but at least until traders unlock to go to level 2, this is the most fair you'll ever have a wipe, because it doesn't matter if someone plays 100 hours or they're freshly playing. They literally can't get access to any gear outside of what they can find in raid by killing either scav bosses or raiders or goons or whatever. So at this point in time, if you go into raid, it is actually a lot of just chaos. They're not really the best guns. People slapping AKs together, or they're getting the guns from Rashala and that. It is quite fun. The PvP I've had in this wipe so far has been a lot of fun. So it will get more and more difficult. I imagine they're going to open up the traders probably around the 1 week mark, and also the tasks around the 1 week mark. There's no confirmation of that. That's just my guess. But as it stands right now, another thing that has changed is how much money you have to spend. I think previously Prapper was around 800k. That was the same for mechanic. Now it is 2.2 mil, and the big one I've actually noticed is 33,000 USD, which is about 5 million rubles worth. You have to spend on Peacekeeper to get Peacekeeper level 2, which is how you get the beta container if you wanted to get that early. My advice is, when they finally do add the task to the game, get ref unlocked, and then when you do get ref unlocked, do you get a task that gives you 3 days access to Arena. It's only 5 quests you have to do in the actual Arena, and you can have access to the Theta container, which is a 10 square container. So if you're at a standard account, that will be the best option for you to get the 2x5 container. Next up, the Hideout. Now, this is probably one of the things I personally think is a missed opportunity by BSG. Instead of putting a lot of thought process into making the Hideout more, items you need to get to upgrade, they literally have just done, we're just going to 2x everything to upgrade. So, previously you needed 3 toolkits, now you need 6. And it's like previously you needed 2 drills, now you need 4. Dry fuel, which was a really annoying one for a lot of people. Previously you needed 3, now you need 6. It's like they could have just made it a few other items, like, you need a flat screwdriver and stuff like that. But they literally just made it 2x. And personally, I don't like that. I think you already have to grind a lot to get like water collector is 8 corrugated hoses. I played for about 14 hours today. I found 6. The one good thing is they don't need to be found in raid. So at least you have that. So you can put stuff in your bum. If you die, you can at least do that. Going back a little bit onto the trader sites. Now, with the traders, and this is probably one of the biggest issues I'm finding, is it is so hard to make money by selling. It's not all items are selling for less, but there are definitely some items selling for less. Probably one of the more noticeable ones at the moment I've seen is the Lager metal from Arena. Normally sold for 600,000, it sells 60. But overall, it is a lot harder to actually make that cash. But it is about 60 to 70% more expensive to buy stuff. And that's the killer. Selling stuff is still not too bad, but you want to get a second junk box, 1.84 million, which was originally 1.1 million. That is a massive markup. I literally only just got my second junk box after about 14 hours of playing, and that's including transferring 1 million rubles over from Arena after doing my Arena dailies. So I have been hoarding and farming stuff for all my quests, but yeah, it is definitely painful to make cash right now. Now, another thing that's actually really a kick in the dick when it comes to holding onto your money and making money, and it's the reason why my cash is currently locked, is the fact that when you finish a raid, if you die and you heal, it costs you about 100,000 rubles to heal. I got to about 1 million rubles and I died 3 times in a row. I haven't died a lot, but I died 3 times in a row. And I just lost 300,000 rubles just like that. And I didn't even notice it. I was like, oh yeah, I'm died, just heal, next. You're just so used to doing it from muscle memory. Bam, 300,000 rubles gone. It's really painful. That was a bit of a shock to the system because I was still trying to farm up that second junk box. Then on top of that, insurance. So I have this kit right now. If I was to go and insure it, going into customs, this is not even a full kit. I haven't got everything in there yet, but 1.2 million to insure this kit. Now, I have been told that some helmets are quite cheap still. So this is a ULACH helmet, 31k. Some of the helmets are still quite cheap to insure, or Packers. But yeah, bam, I lost my very first raid, 635,000 rubles. 60k to insure. Was that 60k or 600k? 600,000? I insured, thought it was 63k. I was like, sweet, sure, next. Bam, 630,000 rubles gone. You start with 1 million rubles with an unheard account. I lost my first 600k, just bam, like that. So I would almost rather them just disable insurance, because I don't think a large amount of people are going to be insuring. And it's a muscle memory thing. The amount of times I've almost insured again, just by muscle memory of playing this game for so long. Yes, it's definitely my own fault for doing it, but I'm sure a lot of people have fallen into that trap. So then moving into other things. So a big one, scav runs. So a lot of people like to supplement their finances by doing scav runs. I've done a total of 8 scav runs. One of them was a run through. I had a Gingy keychain on me, and I was like, well, in my opinion, you get a good Gingy keychain early. You want to get out with that, because that means you can have 4 keys in one slot in your container. And then once you do a scav run, the cooldown to do another scav run is about an hour and a half, 90 minutes ish. Might be a little bit less, 85 minutes or something. And that's with 0.2 rep. I'm now at 1.2 rep from doing car extracts to help get that down. But yeah, massive cooldown. I think this is a pretty rough. because of the fact that a lot of people supplement their losses by doing scav runs. I would say I'm half decent at this video game. I've played it a long time. Currently on my PMC, I'm sitting in like an 85% survival rate. You know, I'm surviving a lot of my raids. I'm getting a lot of kills, killing a lot of PMCs. I think I've killed 16 PMCs. One of my deaths was to raiders on labs. I don't think I've died to any other scavs than that. So 5 of my deaths were to PMCs. So I'm on like a 3 KD for PMCs. I'm surviving a lot of my raids. I'm struggling to make money. Like, yes, I'm hoarding items for tasks later on, but realistically, I'm not making a lot of actual hard-earned cash. The biggest issue with that is like with the insurance, 600,000. You know, the healing at the end of a raid. I can see a lot of people just going straight bankrupt and then not being able to do a scav run to compensate that loss. Then having to go into a raid with like a pistol, no armor, and then just not even getting any sort of progression. I personally like doing 0 to hero runs. I know a lot of people probably don't want to do 0 to hero runs. So I think this is it's on the verge of insanity to have it that long, just for the fact that people, they need that help. Initially, it's going to be fun. When people start getting into the losses a lot, I think it's not going to be that fun. Now, as for the secure container, currently you can put keys in there, key holders being the ginger keychain, morphine, pretty much any of the barter trade items will all fit in there, but none of the actual meds. So you can't put in, oh, sorry, yeah, like stims you can, but not like a CMS, survival kit, grizzly, all those kind of things. In slot 1, unless they patch it, apparently in slot 1, you can put a CMS. I don't know why. I don't know why it's like that, but at the moment, you can put a CMS in slot 1. So take advantage of that. You don't lose any items that you have in here. And then after that, I probably will touch on the loot inside raids. Now, personally, I think the loot has been quite considerably buffed. I think there's a common consensus. I did half my stream today. About 6 or 7 hours of it was solo, and then I did another like 5 or 6 hours, or maybe a little bit longer, in a duo and a trio. And we all came to the same conclusion that loose loot on the ground, so like just any place that an actual just loose loot can spawn, nearly has like 2 or 3x the amount previously. So finding a lot of those barter trade items fairly easily, and I think some of the items people are finding quite quickly. I think LEDXs are definitely more common. People are telling me that they're finding 2 LEDXs on a woods raid when they go to the med camp and the fob. So, you know, like items are definitely more common and there's more of them. So whilst traders are more expensive and less to sell to, in raid there is a lot more loot to get, which is definitely a dub. The loose loot is great. And then also inside like weapon crates and safes, I feel like they're definitely nearly always full or have a lot of items in there. Anyone who's got a marked room key has told me that the marked rooms have been completely empty or have 1 item only in there. So I would say that they over tweaked the marked room, and it has been gone from insane to absolutely pathetic. So if you get a marked key right now, hold on to it, don't use it. So loose loot containers, all that kind of stuff, really good. Killing scavs, make sure you're checking their backpacks and rigs and pockets. Definitely some good loot in there as well. Loot has definitely been buffed, and that is for the hardcore aesthetic and theme. I think that's really good, and it does fit in what I would deem a hardcore style for Escape from Tarkov. All right, so a couple of tips. Also, I would highly recommend, if you have anyone on your friends list that hasn't actually logged into this wipe, you can actually visit them. I don't want to click that. I've got 23,000 friends. And if I click that, it takes ages. But if you go to someone on your friends list that hasn't actually logged in this wipe and they had the gym, you can currently go visit their hideout and do a workout. So you can get level 3 strength and endurance pretty much straight away if you go and do a good job on the gym. So start smashing out some gyms from people's accounts from previous wipes. And that will help you get through some of the earlier levels of skills. They did add Prestige 3 and 4. As we know so far, there is not really much that's changed. You do need to get Charisma level 20 for Prestige. So you need to repair with Mechanic to get Charisma points. That's the fastest and easiest way. And repair costs have gone up as well. So I repaired a Korund, and it was 100,000 rubles. So I got like 4 skill points in Charisma for doing that, or something like that. 3 skill points for doing it. So it is much faster to do that. My overall thoughts. Personally, I've had a lot of fun. Like, honest to God, it has been a lot of fun, but there are some things that is just, and it's just not good. It's just not good. I think BSG have gone in the mindset of, all right, what do we deem as hardcore? And they haven't thought of it as like, you know, it's that survival immersive experience. Like going in, having to find your loot in the raid, in my opinion, that's more like a survival hardcore kind of thing. Having to find 2x items for the hideout, that's not hardcore. That's just grindy. That's like tedious-isms. You know, like those kind of things is like where they've missed the mark in my opinion. So I love the fact that you have to go into raid and there's like all that extra loot and you're then trying to get that loot out because it's, you know, money is not as easy to get selling and buying from traders. So that makes sense to me. That is really good. The transition things, personally, I know they're full committed to this shit. I hate it. 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 I can't stop saying it. Nothing makes me want to quit this game more than two things: cheaters and loading times. And if I have to load into a raid to load into another raid, that just annoys me. And then obviously there's the issue of when you transition across to something else, you know, everyone else is spawned on top of you. They'll fix that. They will fix it. I'm confident of that. Might take a day or two, but you will be able to transition to another map and, you know, people will be spread out. But I just really dislike that I have to load into a raid to go to another raid just so I can go and do something I want to do, or just have a bit of variety, a bit of spice of life. A variety is the spice of life. Because currently, when you go into customs, like you kind of like, all right, well, I'll go kill Rashala and go check out, you know, some of the tech crates and that, or I go to ground zero and you know, loot the crates underneath, or you know, some computers, file cabinets to get out. You can't just chase PvP, more than welcome. And if you're going to do that, factory's the place to do it. Get Tagilla armors and helmets, kill some players in there. It's all good. But I don't really want to just play those 3 maps. I want to go do other stuff. And if I have to transition to them, it's kind of like, I guess the word is, it's not a good use of my time. I'm actually just better off just doing a factory raid again than transitioning. Like if I've already survived the factory raid, I might as well just do another factory raid, then go into a transition. Cool idea, poorly executed is kind of the motto I've always had for BSG when it comes to some of these things. So the transitions, I hate it. The tasking thing, I actually think it's a really cool idea. This is the first wipe where I've gone, what do I feel like doing on the first day? Like, what do I feel like I'll just enjoy doing for a bit of fun on the first day? I was like, I might go to interchange and see if I can find killer, or I might go to, you know, customs and try and kill Rashala. You know, like normally it's like I go into ground zero, I get my ground zero task done, I go to woods and unlock Jaeger, and then now I've got to do unlock ref. I go to customs and unlock ref. Now I've got to go get these items for Jaeger. Okay, food spawns, reserve. Like it's normally so mapped out for me and a lot of other people. This has actually been a really cool thing where I feel like I'm just having fun and doing whatever I feel like fun. I know a lot of people are saying there's lack of direction. There's heaps of options that they could do for this. I've been telling people, think of it like this. Don't worry about your level. Don't worry about your tasks. Your new purpose now is to get currency and stash stuff, like your stash filled with gear. So when the tasks do come, that is now your objective. And then also your hideout. Focus on those 2 things. That is your progression. And if you just go in with that mindset, I think most people can either find a purpose to play or they just won't find a purpose at all anyway. If you are so needing the task, so be it, that's fair. But if you can put yourself in the mindset of, instead of it just being a task, my task is get my hideout done and fill up my stash full as much shit as possible. If you go with that mindset, find some keys, it's going to set you up for later anyway. And it's kind of been fun. I haven't really been running into super giga chance besides the people that are getting the killer gear. And they're the ones that are most painful because the Tagilla helmet is so hard to shoot. The insurance thing, I really dislike. I would prefer it just be disabled. It's so expensive that when you accidentally click it, you feel like it's just ruined so much of your own personal time trying to get that money. It was so disheartening when I did that 600K and I knew how hard it was to make money. Yeah, the insurance thing annoys me. Cars being 40,000 to transit to another area, I don't mind. I honestly, it's not that big a deal. 40K compared to 5K. You put it in your rig or your container, your rig or your backpack or whatever. And if you don't take the car, but you go to transit instead, with 20K of it, I just, you know, send a heap of stuff back. So I've been using 40K in every raid that I go into, and I found it pretty fine. Cash registers will give you 10 to 20k per cash register on customs. So if you go to New Gas, you'll make 40k pretty much just from them. And yeah, like the car cost isn't that bad, but the insurance and the healing, it's too punishing. The insurance, I would be just happy with it being gone, but the actual healing post raid, it's too much. If people are dying consistently, they're just gonna run out of meds. You need to get grizzlies, guys. Like, it's the only thing that's gonna save you from wasting all your money. And then yeah, I really like the fact that there's plentiful of loot. It's really cool when you go and open up a heap of containers and there's actually a lot of loot in there. You're like, oh, I need that. That's something I need. Oh, look at these. Like, there's a fucking car battery in this room. You know, like, I'm not running 4 maps just to find 1 car battery. So yeah, I won't blabber on anymore. It's the age-old saying, great idea, poorly executed. I actually do think it is redeemable if they just purely remove the transition thing completely. There's a heap of issues with it. People crashing whilst transitioning. The old F4 thing that people like take advantage of, which apparently we're going to get banned for now if we do it. So not when I say we are going to get banned for if we do it, streamers, not everyday people, because they're not going to be able to track that. And then, you know, just in general, it's a big time sink to actually transition. If they do something about the transitions and some of the punishing parts of making mistakes with insurance and healing, I think people probably will get behind it. There are a lot of people that just are 100% not for this. It's not my favorite wipe. I don't think it's the what do they call this? This is the best wipe ever. It's not the best wipe ever. It's an interesting concept. Anyway, that's it for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like and comment for the YouTube algorithm, notification bell. Yeah, hope you guys are enjoying it. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun, even though it is quite punishing. So lastly, guys, I'll see you next time.